Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I have a very special guest with me, David Gokhshtein, who is a congressional candidate in New York City. He's also the founder of Gokhshtein Media and a crypto enthusiast. David, great to have you.
Thank you very much. Really happy to be on the show today.
David, I've seen your tweets about crypto and so forth, and that kind of sparked, the idea of interviewing you and to get your perspective. And obviously, you're running for a congressional seat, but I think what would be helpful if we start with your background. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? How did you start Gokhshtein Media and so forth?
Um, well, I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Um, I'm sure everybody can search that up. But Brooklyn, New York is where I came from. How I got into blockchain, um, 2014. 2014, I got interested. Let me rewind. I've been in the automotive industry for 14 years. Love the automotive industry. I know the guys are struggling out there right now, obviously, because essentially it's a non-essential business except for the service department. Obviously, cars need to get fixed during this time period, but a lot of the salespeople, sales force, they're struggling. Guys, keep your head up. Things will change, but safety first. This virus is real, so just wait it out. You'll get back to work. Um, Other than that, in 2014, I really got interested into. I've always been interested in technology in general. I was really big on the internet when it came out, and that's thanks to my uncle because my uncle, big IT guy, and always gave me a computer, always gave me a hand-me-down. So I was lucky enough to have somebody who basically always put technology in my face and got into blockchain again. 2014, got really interested in it, and then at the same time, obviously cryptocurrency,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it. During that time frame, 2014 to 15, really got into it. I joined crypto Twitter uh, with my real name uh, in 2017, but I was already online tweeting, but more so, I guess, obviously the boom happened, the bull run came, and 2017, people saw the name in the background, and, the rest is history. But, I'm in love, with blockchain technology. At first, I was in love with the technology itself. Obviously, then everybody, cryptocurrency, everybody came in for the money. I would say 95% of the people came in for the money. But then I reversed and went right back into the technology. I think the technology, the fascinating thing about blockchain technology is just, I can sum it up in one word, is decentralization.
Mm-hmm.
Decentralize everything, keep everybody honest. And that's why I fell in love with the industry in general.
Awesome. And for, as far as the respective crypto that piqued your interest and that maybe you added first to your portfolio, maybe it was Bitcoin. Can you tell us about that? What was the first thing you added to your portfolio and what do you have in your portfolio today?
I'm gonna be blunt, honest, and because I see a lot of people come on different podcasts and different shows, or they'll tweet about it, and they say they studied Bitcoin head to toe, and that's why they went into it. No, I think honestly, everybody purchased it just because, like me personally, I got into Bitcoin because my friend told me that, hey, you should get into this because, you know, um, in a few years from now, you'll be sitting well. And I was like, what's Bitcoin? Like, I mean, I studied again in 14, 15. I knew about Bitcoin in 08, 09, but I was like, I'm not Bitcoin. I'm not getting into it. I mean, and if you didn't have that reaction, you're lying.
Yeah.
But that was my reaction. And then in 14, 15, obviously the interest is there. I probably have Bitcoin saved on my laptop somewhere, an old laptop, probably at 4 cents and stuff. But
Wow.
that's, again, I got into Bitcoin. That was my first purchase, and the rest is history. And around 16, 17, obviously you have Litecoin, you have XRP, etc. I got a few things.
Now, I've seen you tweet a lot about XRP. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts around that? Why are you so bullish on XRP as it appears, from your tweets?
You know, I'm very bullish on XRP. I like what XRP brings to the table. I know a lot of people will go ahead and state that is centralized, but I can say the same thing for every single other cryptocurrency. Nothing's really decentralized. And I will go ahead and go toe to toe with anybody that tells me that they can find me one cryptocurrency that is fully decentralized. But XRP, I believe, not just XRP, the token, Ripple, the company itself, it brings so much to the table. Rather than wait, and we'll just use an easy example, rather than wait 7 days to go ahead and make a transaction, here you have XRP that can do it within seconds. Like if you're in Japan and I'm here in New York City, I can go ahead and send you money and we're done. I mean, and the fee is barely anything. For them to implement their softwares into banking systems right now, that's huge. You're gonna have to do that. People, are screaming, "Hey, we're gonna cut off the banks." That's never gonna happen. Yeah. You're gonna cut off the little bank, but Bank of America or Chase is gonna scoop them up. And at the end of the day, Bank of America and Chase, they realize that and all the other big banks, they realize that they need to go ahead and adapt and embrace, crypto and blockchain technology. So XRP doing business with Santander, with, Bank of America, American Express, I can go down the list. That's a huge thing. It makes me, of course, optimistic to go ahead and root for, XRP, excuse me, I meant Ripple, but XRP, the token itself, to go ahead and do big things. Look, MoneyGram, say no more. I mean, how many people use MoneyGram? So, you got Tony Vase who will go ahead and talk about Tone Vase. He'll say that, everything's excuse my language, everything's a shit coin, and, XRP should be fined by the SEC. I mean, no. I mean, this is a product that actually works, and we'll all see the benefits in the future. It's the internet came out, it didn't just pop off instantly. It took years, and it's still till this day, working itself out. So.
Right. Yeah, in total agreement with you. So I'm curious, are you just invested in the crypto and digital assets, or also any crypto companies you may be invested in?
No, I'm not invested into any crypto companies, but I do obviously collect digital assets, just like others. But no, I'm not invested into any crypto projects currently as we speak.
Got it. So tell us about your run for the Congressional House seat here in New York. What are you running on, and what made you decide to run for that?
I really, it started off as, let's just look into it. Kind of like, let's mess around. You ain't gonna win. I'm not a politician. I shoot straight from the hip. But then I was like, you know what? We scream about adoption. We scream about adoption. The OGs scream about adoption. The original members here since 2008 and 9, they scream, we need people to come into the space. Perfect. We have nobody that is actually going out there and promoting it. I'm not saying there aren't people that aren't promoting it. What I'm saying is we don't have anybody, a few selective individuals that are out there promoting it, but we need more. We need more voices out there promoting the space and educating people on the space. If we don't have that, we won't grow. So what other, and again, if you look at Congress, it's like everybody's 50 and over. Mm-hmm. Everybody seems to have somebody on the side telling them, hey, this is how it goes. I'm talking about big money. We need to go ahead and have people that are young get in here, have their voices heard, get into Congress and make some changes, and especially with blockchain. Technology in general, forget about blockchain. Let's talk about technology in general, because as we spoke earlier, and I say this a lot, if you look at the Mark Zuckerberg Facebook Congress hearing, It was a complete disaster. The the people sitting and asking the questions looked completely dumb.
Yeah.
They did not know anything about the internet. So how are they going to know anything about blockchain? The regulations that we have on this space right now are horrific. It's not allowing projects to grow.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest projects to grow. It's not allowing them to grow. And what you have is you have a lot of really intelligent individuals picking up, leaving, taking their projects and going to other countries where the regulations are less in terms of there are no regulations, essentially. You can basically build and do as you please. I'm not saying we should go ahead and take on that kind of outlook, but you can't regulate a space on 1933 laws.
Right. Agreed. And yes, and we've heard Mnuchin talk about, Steve Mnuchin, U.S. Treasury Secretary, that regulations are coming soon, but it still seems to be at snail's pace. And like, to your point, just a lot of folks are just uneducated about the internet and technology, and they're not up to speed. In specifically in New York, if you were to get into office, what would you push for as far as, crypto clarity or regulation?
Well, first of all, we got to make sure that, we keep our projects. I know I just said it, I'm being repetitive, but we have to make sure that, we ease up on the regulation. We got to ease up because we're going to, by the time that we realize that we're behind, it's going to be too late because other countries are going to be way more successful in the crypto space, in the blockchain space than we will be. So again, ease up on the regulations and obviously, set guidelines that are not based on 1933 policies, that are not based, like right now, like you have everything based off of the stock market. It's not right. It's not right. In order to use cryptocurrency, if you go over $400, you have to report it as capital gain. I mean, like a lot of this stuff does not make sense. This is not what it's about. So again, if I got into, if I won a seat, obviously besides other things, I'd be voicing hard. I definitely would make sure that the regulations would ease up, that we would keep the talent here and not have it go overseas, okay, to go ahead and have things done. We're going to do it here. We're going to keep it here. We're going to keep jobs here. Keeping projects here brings in more jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen by, just keeping everything here. And listen, I hope I win. If I don't, I'll keep voicing my opinions on social media. I'll keep going to conferences. I'll keep educating new people that come into this space about this space and what I think we should be able to do here.
Awesome. What are your thoughts on central bank digital currencies, the CBDCs? It seems across the globe, all these central banks and governments are trying to get that built because of the disruption crypto is causing. What are your thoughts about that, and how do you see that impacting the crypto market?
There's no way that you can go ahead and get away from it because the banks will always win. You read a lot of stuff on Twitter, on crypto Twitter. You read, or in general on social media, and people believe that Bitcoin. There's people that said, "Oh, the market's crashing. I hope it crashes because Bitcoin's going to take over." I just want to let you guys know, one, Wall Street is way smarter than everybody. The banks are smarter than everybody. They will adapt. Okay, and the only thing that we can hope for is that we can go ahead and work together. Bitcoin to me is an SOV, nothing more than that now. In 2009, it was probably a payment system, but now for me, I keep it. If you're going to tell me that it's going to grow to $100,000 per coin, there's no reason for me to sell it. But getting back to the banking system, listen, it's a good thing for countries. It makes it easier for people to have a digital wallet. But I don't think it's going to hurt cryptocurrency. I really don't think. What I think we'll do is we'll keep, the projects that are supposed to be in this space, and we'll get rid of the trash that we have here in the space. Because there's like what 800 projects now.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need so many projects. I mean, we don't need toilet. I know this is funny. I used to talk about this way before it came out, but we don't need toilet coin. I mean, like, we don't need a bunch of these projects that are useless and, taking away, the currency that can be going into projects, let's say like Neo, like, EOS, which I'm not satisfied with EOS. Very disappointed. Hope you make a comeback. But you get my drift. Tron and XRP, Litecoin, that's where the money should be going, and hopefully the projects can go ahead and consistently get better. Ethereum, how can we not mention Ethereum? I'm so disappointed. Sorry to get off topic. I know you asked me about the banks, but Ethereum, guys, if Ethereum didn't exist, then 90% of these projects wouldn't exist. So, people need to look at Ethereum. Everybody's talking about the scalability. I think Ethereum will figure that out, and 2.0 will come out, and I'm sure that'll have some scalability to it.
Agreed.
Oh, I completely drifted away on that. But this is what happens when you're stuck in the house because of, obviously the coronavirus. So I do apologize to the audience. I have a lot on my mind.
No, I'm in agreement with you on Ethereum for sure. And I agree with you on central bank digital currencies that I think it's going to be complementary to crypto. It'll build more interoperability in a digital world, which crypto already exists in. So we'll have to see how the government set their CBDCs up, but I personally think in agreement with you that it's going to be beneficial. So
listen, it's going to benefit all of us.
Yeah,
it'll keep everybody honest.
Agreed.
They better come out with a ledger.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we can see everything on the blockchain, so it's fine. For me, I want to know where that $1.5 trillion came from.
Yeah.
That's something that, people should be excited about. Not like, oh, man, and all these central banks and everybody's coming out. No, be excited about it. It only, it's going to make the space better. It's not going to make it worse.
Agreed. So on that note, and this is the final question, where do you see the market in 2 to 3 years? Obviously, we have to get through this whole pandemic situation, back to normal life. But where do you see the market in 2 to 3 years?
I personally feel that you'll get rid of I hate using this word. You'll get rid of the shitcoins. People are going to focus on the real projects. And I truly believe that the market, I fully believe Bitcoin is going to go over 20,000 easy. So easily kill its all-time high, which is currently 19.5 to 20,000. I believe the projects will finally settle in on their numbers, and this space. What this space needs is maturity. So we'll finally mature as a space. Hopefully we'll get rid of the crypto Gumbies, avatars and usernames, and we'll finally have real. You're gonna have a lot of institutional money that comes in. So you're going to have a lot of big players in the game, and they're going to take it to the next level. Like if we're at this point with just retail players and a few, and just a few institutional players, just imagine when everybody gets in. We're babies right now. We're early adopters. I don't care if you came in 2009 or if you're here right now. Mm-hmm. You're still early.
Yeah.
So if we're early, our market cap is right now, as we speak, is like 200. What is it? 200 million?
Yeah,
I believe it's 200 million. About
200 billion.
Billion. Excuse me. 200 billion, right? So think about when everybody, when everybody really comes in, when we're done with this pandemic, when everything's back to normal, which will probably be, I think normalcy will come back in around 18 months, give or take. It might be 2 years, but it's still a good enough time. But we'll get there. I fully expect us to rebound, and I think we'll rebound in a great way where we'll have everybody in the mix, not just retail, but the big boys are going to come in and really start, putting some effort into this industry.
Awesome. David, really great info here. Really excited to see how things play out for you and the congressional run there, and appreciate your thoughts and your outlook on the market. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
Thank you so much, guys. Please check out Gokhshtein.com for the magazine. We have a magazine every single month. We're delaying it right now because we're building out the news media outlet. We'll have the podcast and videos just like these up on YouTube on the G platform. But I do really appreciate you bringing me on, and thank you so much. Looking forward to next time if you do bring me back on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to have you back on, and I'll put a link to your website in the description so everyone definitely check that out. Thanks again, David.
Thank you so much. You have a great one. Stay safe.